Interesting. The Seahawks are top 10 in converting on third down, and they'll be up against the Bears defense that wants to make quick stops. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thank you. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Nothing. The fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Seattle Seahawks. Here's Thomas Rawls with his first carry, and he powers his way up past the 30. The numbers for Rawls from a week ago: 12 carries, 58 yards.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football, give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
And he will find his man on the outside. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to lead to a third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Wilson to lock it there for the Seahawk first down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Tyler Lockett was the target there. And now it's second down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Second and 10 now. Wilson. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a first and goal. Well, he did everything but get him in the end zone there, but now they're set up. Golden opportunity, strong opening drive, and they're knocking on the door.
And the way that they did it, now look where they are on the field. All right, this is naturally set up for a running play.
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Thomas Rawls, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on the opening drive. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
And they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. But whatever they said appears to have worked. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And out will come the leader of this offense. And that, of course, is their signal caller. Now a play fake here on first down. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. And the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
First carry now for Jordan Howard. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Michael Bennett's versatility, being able to play any position along the defensive front, allows him to make those types of plays. He finds good matchups and gets into the offensive backfield.
And there it works for a tackle for loss. And this is going to be incomplete.
Trust me, Brandon, I'm not about to try and take your job. I can't do what you do. But that wasn't just 3 and out. That felt like 3 and backwards.
That's exactly what it was. You can have my job whenever you want it. The drive that you're looking for, though, probably going forward. Bad start to the ball game.
Yeah, not the way to get things going.
No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of you.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Oh, it's a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and inches.
Still want to be prepared for a pass.
They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Jordan Howard with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now. So you're not protecting a lead. So you're not playing that way. You got to go get the lead again. So maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Off the play fake to Rawls. Wilson. He hits Baldwin right side. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
To throw is Wilson. He's going to loft. That's caught inside the 20. And he takes this thing down deep into Chicago territory. That one goes for 36 yards. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his. It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there.
The Bears have put an extra defender in the secondary on third down.
Yep, they're in the nickel. From the shotgun, Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. That's an old-fashioned death march there, partner. Took them a lot of plays, but hey, they did the job.
And the defense always preaches getting off the field, making a play, and turning it back over to their own offense. Unable to do so. A long, sustained drive by the offense.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs? It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. He'll drop to throw. He leaves this one for Howard, and he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. Returnable for Lockett. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
First down, this is Rawls. About 3 yards there to the 27.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
On second down, Wilson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he had been able to haul that one in.
Incomplete pass on second down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on third. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
So a good snap, good hold, and that one's right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, Brandon.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before.
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Now a toss. This is Rawls. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. He gets it to Baldwin, and he'll get it down here to the 43. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number 1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
He just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. It's caught. Lockett. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. 2 minutes to go here in the 1st half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. Coming up at halftime, remember, we'll get you out to Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of this 1st half. That is, of course, unless you decide to skip him.
And for the record, we do not encourage that.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. Trying to barrel up in there, but I don't think he got it. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. And his kick is good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Jordan Howard that time, and it's 3rd and short.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Give him 8 yards on the play, and they pick up the first. Back to throw. Dumps that off to his running back, Jordan Howard. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. They're going to look to throw. And this one complete right side to Funchess. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. The Bears moving hastily in the hurry-up offense. Back to throw here. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Malik McDowell in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Past the and nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Touchdown, Chicago. Cameron Meredith as the first half is winding down, and the Bears draw a bit closer.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. On the return, the All-Pro 2 years ago, Tyler Lockett. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Single. Check three.
They go play action here on 1st down. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. So we are at halftime here in down. And never mind, Larry. These two teams apparently anxious to get back at it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Make it now 3 tackles for a loss in this game, 1 for each quarter.
And for a guy who played defense in college, I can just tell you that he's feeling very satisfied right now by what he's doing. But he's elated because he knows what he's doing is helping his team win the game right now. Making some big-time plays, getting into the offense's backfield, and spilling everything. When the 4-3 defense is functioning really well, you know who stays what we call clean and no one gets to him? The guy playing the middle linebacker position, the guy we call Mike. That means the defensive front is eating up all the blocks and just let him go to the football and make a play.
And some room to roam now. 7 yards on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. So now it's Andrew Franks on for the field goal. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And Frank's kick is good. And that cuts the lead down to just 3, 20-17. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense, and over the post.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. So he can't hang on, and as I watched that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Second down now after the incompletion.
Watch tight. Tight end's right. Watch tight. Tight end's right. Tight. Move away, tight. 4 down. 4 down.
To throw is Wilson. To throw again. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. And now a first down following that long gain.
Bunch formation. Bunch formation. Come on, boys. Come on. 34. Eyes on 34.
Now Wilson operating from the gun. Looking left side. He's got it complete. And he's going to go out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Tyler Lockett hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. And here we go on 1st and goal. On the ground, Rawls. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Thomas Rawls with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. On play action, they'll throw. It's caught by Funchess. 23 yards on the play. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve.
All right, here we go.
On first down, they run with Howard. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They'll look to throw here. Throw left side, taken in by Meredith. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him. You know, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner. Maybe they're...
Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's Bears football, but they trail on the scoreboard as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Mike Bennett in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list.
Here we go now. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Michael Bennett in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Now a play fake here on first down. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, fourth quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching in Atlanta, our apologies. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. 31 yards there and a first down.
I'm still an old-school football guy, and anytime you see a big-time running play, that fires me up. And if I'm on offense right now, in the position they're in now, inside the 10-yard line, I think after the way they've run it, they've set themselves up for a good play-action pass opportunity right here.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Tyler Lockett hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears get a bit closer. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just luck. And a loose football. Rawls loses it. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th. And that's off the mark, incomplete. Second down following the incompletion.
Green, 39!
They'll set up a throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, we talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Now back to throw. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Malik McDowell in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
So it's an old-school extra point, but certainly a disappointment that they couldn't get 6.
Yeah, when you see 19-yard field goal in the box score, you kind of shake your head. But their head coach decided 3 was enough.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives them a new set of downs. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Wilson, a give to Rawls. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 44. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Check 43.
Oh, Wilson going to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Here's Wilson. Wide open receiver complete. And now the Bears going to signal for another timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right.
The busy afternoon continues for Rawls. And he's going to take this down to about the 17. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. They go again with Rawls. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Thomas Rawls with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. The Bears moving hastily in the hurry-up offense. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield across the 45. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
They'll set up to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Brown. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Seahawks, it's a win that might keep them alive in the playoff race as they're back to 500 at 5-5. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Atlanta Falcons next.